Okay folks, I figured we'd do something on this holy oil pan here. I showed everybody the little holes in it. Actually, yep, there's oil coming through now. So it wasn't until we cleaned it up, but it's not an issue. But we got to get this baffle out of the way. I'm going to try, I don't think it's welded up here. Let me check and see, but I was just going to cut these 3 welds and see if I could bend it back this way. I honestly think somebody's had it out before, because it's spot welded here, here, and here, but it's welded there. So I think they've done the same thing. I think they have had it loose and out before. So we're going to do that because I can imagine what it's going to look like inside. I'll show you. Well, there we go. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's nasty. So we're going to get this really cleaned up really well, and we'll go from there. Okay, trying to get this bottom end back together on this Whippet engine, and I ran into another issue. I was actually torquing number 4 rod, and this happened. This is the head off of it, and it looks like as if it might have been broke on one side for quite a while, and then I broke it on the other side. But I've never seen one pop the head off like that. But I'm glad it done it now instead of when it was running. I had a kind of a hard time finding one. This is actually a small block Chevrolet, I believe it is. It might be a Dodge, I don't even remember. But as you can see, it's too short. It's 3/8. But these are shoulder bolts. You know, it's got to be stepped up. So I did end up finding one in a 30, I think it was 36 Plymouth rod that I got out and got in it, and it was longer and had the right diameter on it. So luckily that's taken care of. So now we can get that bottom end back together. But if this would have broke after we put it back together, it would have been catastrophic. So anyway, figured I'd show you. Okay folks, engine's back together and ready to put the pan on. Got everything torqued. As you can see, we've got a different nut here now, but it's plenty long enough. The threads are coming through. Everything's good there. So we're ready to put the pan on. Everything's torqued. All the cotter pins are back in the rods. I went ahead and safety wired the main bolts. So should be good to go. And we'll throw the pan on her real quick. Alright, okay. Got the pan on, got the engine flipped back over here where I can get everything else cleaned up. And you know, I was going to make sure that all the water jackets was clean. I went to take out this drain and it just broke loose. It was only in there with one thread. So the threads are pretty rough in there. So we'll go through it with a pipe tap. We'll get that in. And then we'll finish cleaning it up and we'll pull the stripper cap. And I'm probably going to leave the generator on. I'm not going to try to take it off. And now that I've got these on backwards because I had it upside down and I need to flip these. But something that I had figured out, I didn't realize, is that this is an eccentric. So when you loosen this up and turn this, you can actually tighten the timing chain. So we got all the slack out of the timing chain. So we're good to go there, and should maybe even make it run better. So, all right, lifter's supposed to be here today. We'll see if it comes. But show you more. Would you look at that? Just look at it. Makes me think they didn't have Google back then. Okay, folks, I've got my lifter in now. This lifter is not for a Whippet. This lifter has actually a early I guess CJ2. It's the early Willys Jeep, 134 engine, and this is, well, this is the one that the stud broke off in, but we've got one that's got a surface busted. Now this is, like I said, for 134. A little bit different. Diameter's the same. It's a little bit longer. It's thinner on the bottom, which really don't matter. A little bit longer, so I'm going to machine it just a little bit to where we can still get a wrench in there and adjust it, and that way we don't just run into a situation with the adjustment. But everything else is fine. The oil hole's in a little different spot, which really is not going to matter. You know, it's going up and down. That's just to carry oil, and it's going to work fine. Now this is actually, it looks like it's old and rusty, but actually this is Cosmoline. This is what the military used to put on stuff. Okay, I think, if I'm right, this should have, I'm going to clean it up, but it should have a Ford marking on it. Should be made by Ford, being the World War II era, but we'll clean it up and look at it. Okay folks, here it is. I mic'd it, same exact diameter, thank goodness. It's going to work perfect in there. Moves really smooth and easy. And let me see, the oil control, well, not really control, but this is what holds the oil. And there's no holes in this for oil to come in. I guess it just ends up coming in around the top. But that, as you can see, stays inside the whole time. So there's no issues with that. And just like the other ones do. So I think we're going to be good. I'm going to shorten it just a little bit. I'll show you the F on it, meaning that it was made by Ford, right there. And you know, I don't thank engineers very often, but you know, when Ford made a part for a Willys engine that fits a Whippet car, and it works, you gotta thank somebody. So we're going to just shorten. That's our broken one, as you can see. We're just going to shorten it down a little bit so we can have enough room for adjustment, and it'll work out just fine. So we're $8.50 in on the engine now. Or the paint I've already had, the gasket sealer a buddy of mine gave me, and it's the good stuff. So I think we're good to go. We'll get this taken care of, and if I spend any more money, I'll keep you up to date. Okay folks, we're almost ready to set it back in. A couple more little things. I do have to do that lifter yet. Got everything taken care of on the generator. And when I started this the other day, I unhooked the power going to the coil, and then I unhooked the battery, and it still ran. So our generator's good. I think everything is going to be okay on 6 volts. I've got a 6-volt battery we'll put in it. I've actually got the one that come out of my old car. I put a new one in it. I don't know that it needed it, but anyway, we will get her wrapped up here and try to get her in here in just a little bit. Okay, this is the best part about not being a machinist. You can do things the wrong way and still get by. This is a tap wrench. I got a piece of 2000 stainless shim stock in there, and then I've got our lifter in there and tightened down, and then I've got it clamped in. It's the only way I could think to hold it. But we're machining the top off now. So I'm going to reset and go ahead and lower the flats on the side so we can get a wrench in there good, and I'll just make it the same specs as the others. So, alright, I'll get her finished up. Alright, there we go. I just went ahead and lowered down each side. That way I could get a wrench on it just like it's supposed to be. Now we're going to run a tap through it, and we'll clean it all up, make sure there's no metal shavings on it, and we'll get an adjuster in it. Alright, lifters are in. We'll try to get them adjusted and get the side cover on. My goal for today is to get this engine sitting in it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it or not. You know, got to do tows sometimes. Sometimes I just got to up and leave. So we're working between other jobs. We'll try to get it set in there, and maybe next video we can get it running. So, all right. Okay, engine's sitting in it. I don't know if I'm going to get to work on it anymore tonight or not. I've got to run and do a call, and then if I get back, I'll mess with it. If I don't, I will. You'll see the video from here. Alright folks, I've made it back and done a couple little things. Nothing major, hooked a couple things up, but I think I'm going to call it quits. Just wanted to say, the rim, the wheel on eBay, I actually still haven't heard anything from the guy. I actually done another offer of $54, and that would put me in at $300 getting it delivered, and it's still way too much, but I'm having no luck finding any of the other ones. There was an axle on there that's got a front and back, I'm sorry, there's an axle on there, front axle that's got both front wheels, and I actually emailed the guy, or messaged the guy and told him that I'd be interested in one of the wheels if he want, if he sells separate, and I don't think he's wanting to do any shipping or take one apart. So I'm sort of stuck in a bind, and you know it's going to be a shame to get it together and not have a wheel on it to drive it. So if he goes on and does something, that's fine. If not, I'll figure something else out. We might have to start doing some adapting or something. But anyway, we will. I don't know if I'm going to work on this tomorrow or not. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. But if I do, I'll update you on it. But the next video on this thing should be starting it up. No reason why we shouldn't be able to finish everything up. So I did have to go pick up a little bit more paint, or stop by and pick some up. I'm still in it for $8.50 plus about, I think, $5 in paint or something. So we're trying to stay cheap here, and no use throwing a bunch of money into something, especially something you don't have to throw money in. So anyway, appreciate everybody watching, and till next time, bye.